Hi everyone, it's Jim Hamill with Pocono Television Network, and from time to time we share stories about bigger issues facing everyone in the Pocono Mountains. And so we know the housing crisis is not just something that we face in the Poconos, but all across Pennsylvania and across the United States. And so here at Kalahari Resorts and Conventions in November, we held More Front Doors, a Pocono Housing Summit. Behind me, it's one of the breakout sessions, and there's been a keynote speech, as well as an address from the PA Secretary for Department of Community and Economic Development. A lot of people in this room, 300 plus, to tackle the solution, tackle the problem, and get us to where we need to be with housing. Check it out.
We are not here to glamorize any problems. We are here to tackle them head on and to be solution focused.
So our charge from the governor is to work with colleagues inside and outside our government to create a comprehensive plan to address the fundamental causes of this lack of affordable housing. This plan will outline how we intend to build new homes in communities that need them most. As you can see on this slide, it will be focused on helping people make critical repairs to existing homes, how we can lower costs, make housing more affordable, and maybe most importantly, in addition to the input from you, it's going to be driven by data.
I think it also says that at the local level, you all need to coordinate. Geographic and political boundaries are almost meaningless as they relate to markets. And we're talking about intervention with markets. And so you all need to figure out how to coordinate your stuff.
During the Pocono Housing Summit, Brianna Strunk with the Pocono Television Network shared the stories of several Pocono residents impacted by the housing crisis. Have a look.
We were at their aunt's house sundown.
Shannon Rewalt and her 10-year-old daughter Liana will never forget being homeless a few years ago. Despite having a steady job and working hard, Shannon, a single mom, just couldn't find affordable housing.
You feel like you're failing all the time, no matter how much you're doing.
They finally found this 2-bedroom rental in Dingman's Ferry, which costs $1,500 a month, not including most utilities. While Shannon is thankful to receive Section 8 assistance, she says the home is not ideal. It lacks storage and is far from work and stores. There's also the rising costs of food and fuel. Plus, the move required Liana to switch schools.
The transition and everything, she has to make new friends. She has to give up some of the things that she had, that she was able to do before.
49-year-old Clentel Dinkins also became homeless while maintaining a full-time job. After separating from his significant other, he couldn't afford to live on his own.
There's not a lot of people making a lot of money an hour to be paying these astronomical numbers for deposits, security deposit.
Clentel eventually got connected to a Stroudsburg landlord who works with tenants in need. He currently lives in shared housing, paying $800 a month for his own room.
The housing market, that has to change. It shouldn't just be beneficial for the people who got money. It should be beneficial for everybody. We all deserve a chance.
David Orlando, a local landlord, remembers how different the housing market was when he got started in 2017.
I had some renters paying $560 for a 1-bedroom. I had some people paying $800 for a 2-bedroom. The housing market, I was able to buy a 2-unit apartment for about $100,000. That same unit today is 2 to 3 times that price.
David notes several issues today. Low inventory despite high demand as people continue moving to the Poconos from nearby cities like New York and Philadelphia. Home buyers competing with outside investors who bring all-cash offers to the table, oftentimes above asking. And local residents unable to pay as much as others moving in, who are used to higher prices. David says COVID, inflation, and political environments all play a role too.
And as a result, the market just keeps going up. I'm surprised. I would think, it would have capped off in 2021. It would have capped off in 2022. I'm sitting here going, okay, it's 2024. Still hasn't capped off. Even though the rest of the country might say, the housing market's cooling off. It's not in this area, right? Because there's so much demand.
While rental prices have doubled, David says tenants aren't the only ones seeing dramatic increases. All of his expenses have gone up, including employee costs, property taxes, mortgage rates, and utilities.
People think that landlords are just gouging. Well, some are. I'm not going to deny that, but the vast majority are just sitting there going, how do I just make sure that I don't lose money?
This is in case, I need a wheelchair. It's low enough.
Seniors like 68-year-old Diane Mukhtar also feel the strain. Diane was on the wait list for 3 years before recently getting this coveted apartment at Whitestone Commons in Stroudsburg, one of Monroe County's only low-income tax credit communities for ages 62 plus. There are 72 units here and just as many people waiting for one.
And I'm very happy here because there's a lot of stores, a lot of everything here, that's close.
Prior to living here, Diane bounced between renting rooms, staying on relatives' couches, and even moving to outside areas that were more affordable.
I've moved to Susquehanna, Lackawanna, all of them to try to find, cheap rents. And once they got up too high, I'd have to move.
Mary Knippel is another Whitestone Commons resident who started as number 66 on the wait list. For years, Mary and her husband Fred tried moving to the Stroudsburg area to be closer to their kids, but couldn't.
When I looked online for low-income senior housing, they were $1,000 plus, and my husband and I couldn't swing that.
By the time Whitestone Commons called with good news, Mary's husband had passed away.
So he never got to move up here.
Not enough affordable places, but so many faces facing a critical housing need. I'm Brianna Strunk with the Pocono Television Network.